Welcome to Multifamily Live.
I'm Keely Yarusi.
And I'm Jason Yarusi. Our mission is to help you unlock your full potential as a multifamily real estate investor.
So you can do more deals, bigger deals, with less stress, keep more profit, and free up your time.
Multifamily doesn't have to be a mystery. It's time to go live. All right, so welcome back to Multifamily Live. We are talking about really just the power of business, the power of really creating your outcome. And so many times we try every possible way to avoid the downside, to avoid the risk, to avoid having the setback. But how many times in your life can you recall something that's killed you? Well, it's zero. You're undefeated because you're here today listening to this. How many times has a setback defined you, made you who you are? Because most of the time we play it safe. We put ourselves in a position to just not have it too bad, not have too many things happen. But when we do that, we don't give ourselves the permission to go out there and find the greatness that's due to us, find the greatness that can be achieved by us. And when you set out to say, no, the downside could be this. So our oldest little guy is 7, right? He's playing football right now. And he's not like tackling people. He's like kind of going up and kind of grabbing them. And I said, no, what are you worried about, right? And he's like, well, I'm worried about hitting someone and hurting someone. And I said, well, that's a valid worry. But that's why we have these pads on. That's why you have these helmets on. This is why you go out there. And what's going to happen is that if you don't go out there and play all out, is that you're going to get hit and get hurt. Because when everyone's playing and going at it together, they're playing how the game is meant to be played. But we're going out there trying to pull ourselves back. That's when we get hurt, right? Because we're trying to react before the reaction has had. You know, they say that when you get into an accident, that the seizing up is where it really comes from, right? But if you get blindsided, you actually at points sometimes get out better at less of a point of being hurt because your body didn't have time to react, right? But so many times in life, we're reacting before the outcome, right? We're assuming the worst case. We're assuming something's going to happen before it actually does, right? Before it actually comes out there and says, right, oh, so if I try to go out there after my dreams, my family's going to talk bad about me. My friends are going to not be friends with me anymore. I'm going to lose all my money, right? All these things are going to happen. You're reacting without it really ever being to the point of actually going out there and taking action. But what has to be inbred in you is that if the worst can happen, the best can happen too. But what will never happen is the greatness that you deserve, the greatness that you have. You deserve the greatness. It's not going to give and come and show up for you and just pull you from where you are. You have to go out and seek and define this greatness. You have to go out there and find and grab and take, right? Because if you're not doing it, someone else is. Someone else is stepping outside of where they are today and beating you to the finish line and beating you out of the gate. They're getting up earlier than you. They're staying up later than you. They're more hungry because they're saying, I have one life to live. And I don't want to look back. And I don't want to look back and say, man, I wasted that life. Do you know the most wealthy place in this world? Do you know what that wealthy place is? It's the cemetery. The cemetery is the most wealthy place that exists because all the dreams, all the goals, all the greatness could have been had that wasn't achieved dies there. And for everyone that goes out there and gets what they want and gets what they deserve and creates and sets the narrative and gives back and really just sets the outcome for where the future can be, there's hundreds and thousands who don't, who take those goals, those aspirations, those dreams, and they put blame, they cast doubt, they say, oh, every reason why they haven't, and then they take it to the grave. And why they sit there on their deathbed, they look back at everything they could have done. And so many times, the one thing that gets repeated is, I wish I just took the step, took more risk, took more action. Because what's the worst that's going to happen? You fail. My biggest learnings have come from my failures. The achievements are great, but then we go for the next achievement because that's how we're set up. But the failures are where I set and cast me and where I build upon myself. So don't let a day go by where you say, well, maybe tomorrow I'll get after it. Or, oh man, I wish I had, or, if I was just younger, or if I was just prettier, or if I was just more healthy. Go out there and take action today and be your best self. Go forward. Let's crush it. This is Multifamily Live. Let's do this.